MLB free agency is heating up as we have seen two huge moves already drop today, and a recent rumor has dropped. A report has dropped surrounding Corbin Burnes that a decision for the starting pitcher is imminent. We've seen the Yankees upgrade in a very big way. Another report has come out surrounding Cody Bellinger and the Yankees, which we'll dive into. We've also seen the Chicago Cubs acquire Kyle Tucker in a blockbuster trade. Things are following that as well. There's going to be tons more news coming down. So welcome in. We're going to be going through it all in this stream. Welcome in, everybody. It's a wild one. There's a lot of things going down. I'm going live now because I think a Corbin Burnes decision is going to be happening soon, hopefully on this stream. If not, again, we'll keep you up to date with all the latest news. But things are looking bleak for the Toronto Blue Jays at this moment. I mean, the Yankees have upgraded immensely. They got one of the best closers in baseball in Devin Williams. You're now looking also at some of the other teams in the AL. The Red Sox, of course, got Garrett Crochet. So many things. And the one team that is yet to make a meaningful signing is the Toronto Blue Jays. And of course, I guess the Tampa Bay Rays as well, but they're kind of just floating right now. Some reports are going down. We're going to dive into them. There's some rumors going along. There's some things, some buzz currently happening surrounding the San Francisco Giants and the Toronto Blue Jays, and we can dive into it a little bit now. So we obviously know that Kyle Tucker was traded to the Chicago Cubs, and for what it's worth, if and when this gets done, sources say the Cubs and Yankees have a deal waiting to send Cody Bellinger to New York. So it seems, this has yet to be fully confirmed, but it seems that Cody Bellinger is going to become a Yankee as well, following, of course, the Tucker deal that has been finalized. So you have that to kind of think about. They've upgraded a couple positions now. They still have some work to do, and they traded for Devin Williams, which is unfortunate if you're a Blue Jays fan. They also got Devin Williams. They also, of course, the Houston Astros, which is actually a positive for the Jays and every AL team, really. Houston Astros were traded to the Kyle Tucker from the Houston Astros, of course, traded the Cubs. But this just dropped from Bay Area Bob. And again, this is a rumor. If you're unfamiliar with Bay Area Bob, he's a reported insider within the San Francisco community, and he's gotten things right in the past. Apparently, some people are saying it's over because I emoji, meaning Corbin Burnes. He's been talking about Burnes going to the Giants as of late, so take that with a grain of salt. But it seems like some things are going down, and they're going down very quickly. Again, take this with a huge grain. Like, I know you guys like when I say grain of salt, so take this for be cautious with it. However, Bay Area Bob, he's it's a rumor, and of course, I'll keep you up to date with all the rumors, especially on the stream. But we know that Ken Rosenthal came out and said that Burnes was going to be making his decision by the end of the week, which is, of course, something that's super interesting. And this is the end of the week. It is officially Friday. He said that it could have happened, of course, on Thursday. It could have happened Wednesday. But now we are here. And everybody in the chat, type yes or no. Are you nervous? Are you anxious about the Toronto Blue Jays? Are you disappointed with their acquisitions thus far? Of course. I gotta get a grain of salt emoji. Of course, if you look at their current acquisitions, I mean, all they did was, they signed Jimmy Garcia to a two-year deal, 15 mil, and they traded for Andres Jimenez. So there is some reasons to be concerned, I would say. There are some things. We know that reports are coming out about Teoscar Hernandez, which I think is also a likely possibility here, but I think I think we're all pretty uneasy right now. I think we're all pretty uneasy. They haven't made one of the big splashes. Things are starting to kind of, you look at it, Alex Bregman is still available. I don't think the Blue Jays necessarily go for Alex Bregman. I think their biggest, so let's say they don't, let's say, Bay Area Bob is right, and of course all the other reporters, and he signs with the San Francisco Giants. You're looking at a team now that I think their most possible and realistic avenue to success would be via trade. Now, whether that's a Bichette trade, whether that is there's a lot of different avenues they can go here surrounding trades, but I think they might end up resorting to some trades, especially if Corbin Burnes gets, signed by the San Francisco Giants, because you have Teo. Of course, I think they're going to sign one of Teo or Anthony Santander, and if they don't sign one of those two, boy, oh boy, are they in trouble, because then you're really stuck. I don't know what other, unless they trade Bichette for a more well-rounded team or something of that nature, but I don't even think that is going to happen here. So it's kind of at the point now where it's like, this team is in a very interesting spot. Yeah, and we saw, of course, a couple of reports come out from rumor people basically saying that Corbin Burnes is going to be a Blue Jay. We saw that. Hasn't happened yet. I think his name was Billy Billy Steffen. So we had Billy Steffen come out and say that. Nothing happened of that. We have Ken Rosenthal saying that he's probably going to be a Giant. And a lot of that is, of course, because, I mean, Ken Rosenthal doesn't seem to like Canada or the Blue Jays whatsoever. But I think you got to be a little bit worried at this moment. You have to be a little bit worried. Ross is more interested in making a Gold Glove display team than a playoff team. I think I don't hate the again. I've kind of had the same mindset of it. I don't hate the Andres Jimenez deal in a nutshell. Yeah, I know he had 200 followers, but he blew up though. I don't hate the Andres Jimenez deal in a nutshell. I think it gets problematic when they don't go out and they don't get hitters because they desperately need people who can hit for power. They desperately need just anything. And they don't have any of it yet. And I think they're probably working the trade market. They're probably waiting to see what happens with Corbin Burnes, who, again, is still unsigned. He's the last big, him, Jack Flaherty are the last big guys who haven't gotten signed yet. And they still need Teoscar. They need, of course, a bunch of other different people. So it's getting scary. I do think Corbin Burnes signs today. I'm hoping that we catch it live on the stream. That would be pretty entertaining. But we're all a little bit uneasy at the moment, a little bit uneasy. Every other AL East team, at least the ones that are competitive, have made a move. Red Sox, Yankees. I guess the Orioles have too. I mean, they got Gary Sanchez and they got another guy. So it's like Tyler O'Neill. So even they've made the moves. They got Tyler O'Neill early, which ultimately seems like it was a pretty good thing. Jimenez trade is a disaster if his bat doesn't bounce back. I don't think it can. I don't know if it'd be a disaster, Shane, but it wouldn't be great. I mean, he still put up a 4 WAR last year in his worst season. Feel sorry for Jays fans putting their faith in Mark and Ross. They'll always be behind our competitors. I'm holding out hope just until the end of this offseason, and if they don't go out and they don't get a power bat, exile. We don't need Santander and his 240 career average. A rookie can give you that. Yeah, but I mean, well, I don't know what rookie is giving you 40 home runs, but you desperately need power. And that's exactly what the Jays are missing, and Santander gives you that. Can't really go by batting average in this day and age. It doesn't really work like that. Blue Jays right now are a team that's last. At least you can make that argument for sure. And the way their team is currently constructed, they may finish like a little bit better than last year. Maybe they get 80 wins, 82 wins. Maybe. And like if you're lucky, they get that many wins. And that is in a season where they're coming off a season with 74 wins. Again, the most recent reports, we've seen it from Schneider, Ben Nicholson Smith saying that they continue talking to prominent free agents, with some appearing more realistic than others. Teoscar, Jock Peterson. At this point in the offseason, there are trade-offs, and that's where things get really interesting for the Blue Jays. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jock Peterson ends up being a Blue Jay. Like, if they somehow strike out on both Teoscar Hernandez and Anthony Santander, then Jock Peterson is probably going to be I could see Jock Peterson potentially being a Blue Jay, especially because they've been linked to him in the past, and they've, vowed for his services in the past. What are your thoughts on that Tucker trade? I think it was a good trade for both sides. I like it a lot for Chicago. And then Houston, you got what you can. He only had 1 year left on his deal. I do think the Padres got a lot more. Of course, Soto's a better player, but I think the Padres did better in their trading of a 1 year rental than, of course, the Astros did. But you can also say that, I also think the Astros came out better than the Red Sox did in the Mookie Betts trade years ago. 70-91, if this is the same type of team last year. Yeah, I mean, you can make that argument. I think Bichette getting healthy helps. I think Jimenez helps ultimately. But they desperately need more pieces. Like, they're not going to even compete in the AL East at all. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I remember the World Series years. Yeah, I mean, they need to make something happen. Isaac Paredes and a couple of good prospects. Owen, what did Astros get back for Tucker? It's interesting. It is interesting. Doesn't matter what they do because the fans will show up anyway, to a degree. Do we believe in Bay Area Bob? I don't even know if he's gotten things ready as 5,000 followers, but now he didn't say whether he's a Giants guy, and he didn't say whether it's the Jays or the Giants, but we've seen reports come out, a bunch of different things. Like, again, we saw Billy Steffen like 2 days ago come out and say Burnes 7 years, 252. Apparently the Giants have upped their offer since then. So there's nothing imminent on that front. Would you trade Arjun Namala for Luis Robert Jr.? Huh. That's a very good question. Type yes or no in the chat and your answer to that question. Would you trade Arjun Namala for would you trade Arjun Namala for Louis? Probably. I think you probably do that deal. I think you probably do that deal. Though Namala has very high upside. I don't know, maybe not. That's a very tough one. Like Roberto when healthy is really good, coming off a 5-year season in 2023. Yeah, you definitely do that deal. I think if it was a 1-for-1, you probably do that deal just to get a guy. I mean, Roberto's only 27, so I think you do it in a nutshell. But like, health is the concern. I think that's something that Ross could do. I do think they're ultimately going in the trade market. They're trying. Yeah, he wasn't great last year, at all. Had a really really bad his worst season as being in the MLB. Um, I think this. Yeah, exactly. I think he does have very high upside, but I think in any deal for I think Ross Atkins is probably working the trade market right now. Like I have a feeling it could be some starting pitching. It could be like other starting pitchers we haven't really thought about. It could be. I feel like they know or they have a decent idea on if Corbin Burnes is going to be coming to the Jays. He is a hometown Californian, meaning, of course, he'd rather be in San Francisco naturally. But if the Jays are offering a lot more money, then he'd probably be interested in coming here. But I do hope he comes here. We won't win now, regardless of what trades Atkins can swing. Shane, you're fully off the Jays train, huh? I agree, legend. I think it would cost more though than just Arjun Amala, even though he is a very good prospect with really high upside. And the farm for the Jays isn't even that great. He is injury prone. I would agree with that. Robert is injury prone, but he has a ceiling of a superstar, right? So 290 million for Burnes. Yeah, I mean, if the Giants went up to 290 million, I think he'd be a Giant by now. I do think he's holding out for. I mean, if the Jays go up to 290, I think he's holding out for the Jays to match whatever, or the Giants, sorry, to match whatever offer the Jays are offering. And I just don't think it's happening at this moment. I don't think it's happening yet. I think that's literally what it is. I just don't think that Corbin Burnes necessarily wants to come to Toronto, but the money is so good right now. And Davis Schneider. Yeah, I don't know where Davis Schneider's value is. What's up, Morgan? Do you think that Corbin Burnes and Teoscar Hernandez will sign with the Blue Jays and maybe Santander Bregman will sign with the Jays? I would say my prediction right now is that Burnes signs with the Giants and that Teoscar, they get one of Teoscar or Santander. And then they probably go and sign a guy like Sean Manaea, trade for someone like, I don't know, like a Twins pitcher, Bailey Ober, someone of that nature. Nick, your thoughts on Springer? I'm confused in a situation. I think they just ride him out. I mean, he's getting older. His bat speed has decreased significantly. But at the end of the day, I think he'll be slightly better than last year. I'd like to hope. He had a really bad year last year. So I'm going to hope that he's better than last season. I'm going to hope. But again, like Ross Atkins is under fire at this point. Very, very unfortunate. Alex Anthopoulos, I think Ross has not done a great job. Also, if you're new to the stream, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 15,000 subscribers before Christmas. We're also at 29 likes. If you want Corbin Burnes to come to the Jays, hit the like button. I'm double checking a report here that just came out, so bear with me while I go through this here. From Carlos Baerga. I'm assuming it's fake. Nope. It's not. So apparently, I can't translate it, but I think he's saying that Anthony Santander, I believe, is an Astro, which I don't, or is the Astros are pursuing Santander, I guess, which is interesting. Thank you, Hockey. Do you think the Blue Jays would make a trade with the San Diego Padres? It is possible. Skywalking, he has not signed yet. We're getting some rumors coming out that, from rumor mill people that he's probably going to go to the Giants and a signing could happen, but it's still up in the air at this moment. This very moment. We need some big moves to keep the guys like Vladdy. I mean, yeah, they need to do something. I just can't see a world where they don't do something big. Or at least do something. And they haven't done something big. Like Teoscar Hernandez would work. Jock Peterson would be like if they get Jock Peterson, they would need to get a lot of other people as well. Quite frankly, they need to get a lot of other pieces, and it's very interesting because like the Corbin Burnes saga, like I feel like he's been. I mean, he is the last blockbuster free agent available, and he's a Scott Boras client. Winter meetings are over, so it's like don't know exactly what's going on at this point with Corbin Burnes. Shane with the $2. Check your DM for the Burnes update. Okay, I will do. Will do. Did that just drop? Oh, I did see that. That was yesterday. I will throw it up though, regardless. Thank you for the $2, Shane. I did see that as well. I don't know how much I fully trust Mock Bomb. I know some people do. I'm gonna go back. I wish you would give an update. Again, take it with a grain. Proceed with caution. This is Mock Bomb's most recent tweet from last night, and honestly, it kind of makes some sense. So, Corbin Burnes reps met with the Blue Jays and Giants today. From what I hear, Burnes is skeptical of the Blue Jays' future plans surrounding Vladdy and Bo. He doesn't want to get locked up there to see them leave next winter. As for the Giants, it's home for him, but the Giants have yet to meet his ask, knowing it's his top destination. Blue Jays still have top offer out there for Burnes, which are told exceeds $250 million. Burnes just isn't sold at the moment on their future. Something will have to give, nothing imminent. He hasn't updated anything today. He's been wrong in the past too, so he also said Ohtani was a Blue Jay, which a ton of people did. So it's like, take it as you will. Take it as you will. That being said, it would make sense. I don't know if he's like even if this is made up and he's not telling the truth, it still makes sense. I think every free agent is probably feeling the same sentiment. Like their two best players are pending free agents. So unless they go out and extend one of them, like I don't know why money-wise, of course. Money-wise. But like it's intriguing. All the smartest people in the room. And again, the Yankees got Devin Williams. The Cubs got, Kyle Tucker being out of the AL is nice. But, and thank God it's not the Yankees. If the Yankees would have got Kyle Tucker, it would have been very bad. Would have been very, very bad. And it's still not great. But it's not ideal that they got Devin Williams. But it's better than, I'd rather them get Devin Williams than Kyle Tucker. And again, they traded a couple of interesting guys. Nestor Cortez is out of the division, but they got one of the better closers who hasn't been good in his 3 playoff games. Very small sample size. So we also have an update from Jon Heyman. So give me a moment. We have an update from Jon Heyman here. Intriguing. And it's not a direct, which is interesting because it's not directly, it is Blue Jays news, but okay, so I'm very confident in the Jays. So Heyman basically confirms here that the Jays are getting one of Teoscar or Santander, which is nice. They weren't hockey. They don't have the prospect capital to do that. I think they could have matched the Devin Williams trade if they wanted to, though. Okay. So this just came out from Jon Heyman. This is regarding the Red Sox, but you'll see something here. Exactly, Marcel. Loves the idea of Bregman there. Perfect fit if Fenway would play second. So read this here. Loves the idea, Santander, Teoscar are very likely pieces to look at. Will most likely sign the one that does not go to the Blue Jays. And again, he is a Scott Boras mouthpiece. Jon Heyman is. So this almost confirms that, at least in theory, confirms that he's going to go to the Jays in some capacity. Jon Heyman basically confirms that. I'm going to double check some things though, but it seems like he's definitely going to get one of them. And type in the chat right now, would you prefer Teoscar or Santander? But he kind of just says, at least in his mind, they're going to get one of them. It's very interesting. Whoever doesn't go to the Jays. So it's he's a mouthpiece of Scott Boras. So I would assume, what do you think of the Nestor Cortez trade? I think it's great for both sides there. I'm very curious to see who you guys rather here. Teo, Santander, Teo, Santander, Teo, it's split down the middle. Ooh, a lot of Teoscars now. Again, he is a former Blue Jay, so that does make some sense. It does make some sense. Make a poll? Yeah, a poll's a good idea. It's tough. And again, keep the contracts in mind, but we can just, for the sake of argument. It basically confirms it, though. Basically confirms it, especially given the fact that John Heyman is Scott Boras' mouthpiece. Basically confirms it. Very curious to see. Like, Marcel 199, true or false? You're actually a Detroit Tigers fan. Very false. Very false. Detroit Tigers. Look at all the merch behind me, Marcel. Excuse me. Been a Jays fan for all my life. My family lives in Toronto. Watch games every single year as a kid. Diehard Jays fan. Diehard. And I've stuck with them. Same with the Leafs. Yeah, the Tigers are good. Tigers are in a good spot. Some would argue a better spot than the Blue Jays are in. Diehard Jays fan, which at times is unfortunate because we're thinking about it now and I'm a diehard Jays fan. And it's like, whoa. Who's your favorite Blue Jays player? That's a good question. Everybody type in chat who your favorite. I am legend. Family in Toronto, though. I am from the Rock. I'm from Newfoundland, but I have family in Toronto. I didn't move here. Not like my close. I have a lot of family in Toronto, a lot of family here. To be serious contenders, the Jays need both Santander to go with Corbin Burnes, although I have zero faith in the front office to do anything. I mean, I think we're all a little bit disgruntled Jays fans at the moment. We did talk about the latest trade. If you're new here, hit the like button as well. What's up, David? Doing great. Let's try to get to 100 likes. Roy Halladay. George Springer, Vladdy. Okay, what about current Blue Jay? Let's narrow it down to current Blue Jay. I feel like current Blue Jay is it might be a bit more difficult. Favorite current Blue Jay. The poll is almost split down the middle as well, by the way. 52% are at Santander. Keep voting. I'm very curious to see here. East Coast Eat Sleep Sports. East Coast. Not going to say exactly where, but East Coast. Kevin Pillar, Kevin Gosman, David Schneider, Bowden Francis. Exactly, Marcel. Let's try to get to 100 likes. Like up the stream. Shout out to you, Marcel. Bo, Vlad, Schneider. They did not Kincaid yet, but it's imminent, though. I don't know about the Jays getting him. But again, we have this piece of news, which basically confirms that they're getting one of the two. So we have a poll going right now of would they rather Teo or Santander? Will Wagner? No Joey Loperfidos? Where did Tiedemann and Yasavage stand this year? I don't think either of them play. Obviously, Tiedemann's injured. Yasavage is freshly drafted. I think he plays a year in the minors and then comes up maybe in 2025. I think my favorite current Blue Jay, like Vladdy is the easy one, so I don't want to really say Vladdy. I'm kind of thinking there's a lot of good ones. I like Kevin Gosman a lot. And Chris Bassett. Chris Bassett is phenomenal with like the media and everybody like that. I love Chris Bassett. I think I was the only one who said Bassett, which is crazy. What's up, Christopher? Don Mattingly. I hope they bring Teo back. I think Santander is more likely, though. 53%. Oh. Okay. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing too crazy. So apparently, take this with a lot of precaution, not a grain of salt. Don't worry. I see the comments. So John Heyman came out and said this 30 minutes ago. Hearing buzz of Santander to Toronto. I have a strong suspicion that Santander is going to be a Blue Jay by the end of this weekend. So Santander won the vote. A grain of salt? Exactly. Not a grain of salt. A great amount of caution. A great amount of caution is now what I'm going to say. I'm going to keep the poll up for a little bit longer. 200 votes. Everyone get their final votes in. 52%. Proceed with caution at all times. We like the salt comment. Yeah, I got it. That's funny. It's the time of year. We should get a grain of salt emote for the members. I have a screenshot and I want to grab it. So give me a moment. A nugget of salt. Not a grain, but a nugget of salt. It's interesting. I'm looking for a tweet here. If it ain't King passing, it's probably not true. I would agree. However, John Heyman has been right on the money with thank you, Mauricio. Has been right on the money with Scott Boras' client. Has been right on the money. Where is it? It's a graphic comparing. I've used it in my videos a few times. Comparing Teoscar to Santander. I don't like the Maple Leafs. It's fair enough. I love the Maple Leafs. I don't even know if I have it. Let me just found it. Yes, the second I said I don't know if I have it. Shout out to whoever made this chart. I think it was Bennett on Twitter. Bennett F7. King, no, not yet. So it's this here. Okay, screenshots are getting messy. Okay. So I'm gonna bring this up for you all. Yeah, one message at a time. I read almost every single chat message. So don't worry about me not seeing it. Okay, so my face is gonna get hit. Actually, what we'll do. We'll bring this over here and we'll do this. All right. So okay. So Santander, projected contract is 4 years, 80 million. Jurickson Profar, 3 years, 45. Teoscar, 3 years, 75. And there's buzz about Santander to the Blue Jays. And also, okay. So the thing is Teo, I think, is a safer play, but Santander hits absolute bombs and is in the AL East. We've been talking about Santander for a while. I mean, Profar would be a very good one as well. I haven't heard much link there, though. I think they ultimately sign Santander soon. I don't think they get Burnes, so I think they go Santander. Yes, Darren, it would be for me. I don't think they get Burnes, but I still think they can win the offseason without Burnes. I still think they can win the offseason without Burnes. We hit 100 likes. Thank you guys for that. Maybe 150 now next. How old is Profar? Late 20s? Check. 31. Okay, so not late 20s. 31. That was close. So I think both of these are fine. And if let's just say for the sake of argument, they get Anthony Santander, because I mean, at this point, that would be a fine kind of pivot here. I'd be fine with that. So they get Anthony Santander. Who else would they need for us to consider it a winning offseason? Sean Manaea. They would need to make a trade. They need to get a pitcher and then probably another hitter after. Don't scare me like that. What? You're definitely trolling. I can feel it. You're definitely trolling. Wait. The Jays did make a move, but oh man. Well, we broke a Jays move here. I mean, sure. Jays made a move, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it up. Eric Lauer. This is their Corbin Burnes pivot. Eric Lauer has an NRI deal.
which I don't know what that means. I think it means it's an invitation, basically, an invitation deal. Double check. Yeah, okay, so it's an invitation deal. The move we've all been waiting for. The move we have all been waiting for has come. They made the move. He was a former Milwaukee Brewer. Here are his stats, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, he's a starter, and he had 2 good years, which is kind of hilarious. I mean, like, for what it is, it's not. I mean, I don't hate it though. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Like, okay, again, is it video worthy? Might have a video on it discussing it, but like, I don't know. Let's be objective for a second. Is it even that bad of a signing? I don't think so. I mean, he was a good starter for 2 years in a row. Had a bad year last year. You get him on an invitation deal, no risk. Literally 0 risk in this deal. 0 risk. So, like, who cares? He had a 5 ERA last year in the KBO league. Not video worthy. Oh, if I made a video on this, people would be upset. That being said, it might be a topic in a video. It might be worth discussing. We'll bring it up. We'll bring it up in the video. It changes everything, guys. It changes everything. Would you guys agree that this changes everything for the Jays? I think so. NRI deal is it's a camp invitation. No, it doesn't move the needle. I honestly don't hate it though. I don't hate it. They did it. Big move, ladies and gentlemen. We also have an update from MLB Scoops. If you're unfamiliar with MLB Scoops, he's right at times. Atkins is so back. It does. It's a sneaky signing. It actually kind of is a sneaky signing. I heard a little murmur. What do you think about Walker Buehler? Phil, are you saying that from sources? This Phil sources in the building? I love it. I love the idea of Walker Buehler. Phil, elaborate on your little murmur. I'm assuming everyone has sources these days, but thank you for the 5, Phil. I actually, and we'll have a video on it. I want to get Peter's thoughts on it. Again, it's not a huge signing or anything like that. He hasn't been good the past 2 years. He was injured in 2023, which kind of led to him getting DFA'd, and then he played the KBO. I don't hate it. I actually don't hate it at all. I really don't mind this signing. And again, I know a lot of you guys aren't going to be happy about it, but objectively, as from the Jays side, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. We've seen him have success in the past. He's 2 years removed from an 11-7 season. I don't hate it at all. I don't think this is a Sean Manaea replacement. He's not even it's a non-roster invitee. So, like, if he plays bad in the spring training and all this thing, he'll get, okay, random guy. We don't need to spam. I mean, I agree the front office hasn't been good, but let's not spam. So, I think ultimately, I don't hate the deal at all. And we'll discuss it on a video. And I'm seeing some people don't hate it. It's a solid bounce back, or a solid back to rotation arm. I don't mind it. But it's depth. It's depth. It's a depth move. That's what it is. It's a depth move. We broke another move happened. I will keep this up for a little bit. Just to have it up here, Eric Lauer. We'll have a video, probably not today, maybe tomorrow, something of that nature. But at the same time, I do think, and sorry, I meant to drag this up for you all. So MLB Scoops, again, he's probably the biggest guy on Twitter for Scoops. And this just dropped as well. take it with a great amount of caution. They're considered the favorite to land Santander, but the Astros are making a late push. Which Carlos Baerga said that, so it's like maybe he's just taking what Baerga said. Yeah, Burnes signing is coming. Hopefully it's to the Jays, but it should happen by the end of today or tomorrow, according to all reports. Caesar. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, the Yankees got Max Fried. The Red Sox got Garrett Crochet. We got Eric Lauer. Who's really winning here? Who's really winning? Don't hate the move. Don't hate the move at all. Don't hate the move. That being said, better not be the only starting pitching move. Hit the like button if you guys are new. Let's try to get to 150 likes. I am really thinking that Anthony Santander is going to be a Blue Jay. No worries, Cesar. I really think he's going to be a Blue Jay. And John Heyman came out and said a similar thing as well. Again, if you missed that, you have this here. These are, of course, the comparison between them. I don't have the screenshot anymore. John Heyman basically saying that the Jays are favorites. Lauer? I do need to know how to pronounce it for the video. Lauer. Right? Lauer? Someone correct me on that, because if I get that wrong for the Bueller's a question number 5, double Tommy John. Yeah. Going back to the where is it? Here it is. Going back to these 3 players, if they do go ahead and get Santander, you're getting a lot of power. You instantly make your team better. I mean, yeah, I think he's an okay depth signing to be completely honest. Lauer. Okay, I'm gonna pronounce it that way. Eric Lauer. He had a good 2021. So funny. Not the signing we all wanted, but it's a signing. Like a flower without the flower. Lauer. Perfect. Okay. Good. I would have gotten. I know we would have commented about that. Which is fair. It's just fair. Very interesting flyer. So, as these 3 guys, like Santander, he'll give you 30 home runs minimum. So then you're adding a solid amount of power to help protect Vlad a little bit. You need to go out. You still need to get one more hitter. I think they probably make some kind of trade, and I don't think that Eric Lauer is a replacement for any of the other guys they are going for. Richard, I'm gonna look into that real quick. Who is he on Twitter? Where'd you see that, Richard? We're all about rumors here. There's so many rumors going down. I think ultimately, and the Yankees are making a push for Santander. Who are the top 3 guys you would want who would take us into an immediate contender? Corbin Burnes, like out of the available market that's left, I think you'd have to do Corbin Burnes, Santander, and then another hitter of some kind. Like you could argue Bregman, you could argue they make a trade, but those 2 for sure. I think Teo for the vibes would be kind of nice. Yeah, so Carlos Baerga said there are rumors in Houston that with Kyle Tucker's departure, Houston will be signing Anthony Santander, who hits with 2 hands, and that park would be perfect for Santander, and it would be less money. So there's rumblings of Santander to the Astros. Shane, thank you for the $2. 5 gifted incoming for being so pessimistic. You have every right to be, though. Team hasn't done anything. Teo would be perfect. I would prefer Teoscar probably. He was drafted by the Blue Jays. Shane gives 5 gifted members. If you get one from Shane, thank him in the chats. Jay Salmon, Chuck Taylor, Michelle, Thomas Levi, and Brandon Dillman. Everybody thank Shane in the chat. You get now have access to emotes. You have access to an icon next to your name and some other perks as well. So, Shane, thank you as always for your continued support. Much appreciated. Chris, no need to spam. Is Vogelbach still around? What's up, Owen? Send one. It is random. The gifted members are random. I feel like a big signing is coming. And I don't know if it's to the Jays. Again, we've heard yeah, that emote's doing me dirty. We've heard rumblings of Burnes signing today. Which, knowing my luck, as soon as he goes off, as soon as we go off, I go off the stream, he is going to sign. But Teo misses Hazel May. It's possible. We saw him in the World Series. Saw him in the World Series. Watched Teo sign with the Dodgers and Santander with the Sox. I don't think Santander's going to go with the Red Sox. I could see him signing with the Houston Astros, though. Could see him signing with the Houston Astros. Ross decided to wake up. Eric Lauer. Flower without the F. Kyle, if they make a move, one of us will be live. Yeah. If they make a move. I was at sushi actually with my girlfriend when they made that Jimenez trade and I rushed home. Shane saying lots of gifted memberships every stream, so keep tuning in. Well, if you want to get, we're going to be going live a ton this offseason. This is at least once or twice a week, even after the big signings die down. After the big signings die down. It's a full bust if we don't sign one of Teo and Santander along with adding a mid-rotation starter, right? Yes. 100% JT. 100%. No doubt about it. Burnes of Toronto? Hey, don't do that to me, please. Come on. Don't. The chat, your ability to troll is crazy. Oh, my heart was going there. I actually believed you. God. No, he's not serious. I don't think. Am I missing something? No, he's not serious. Well, you had me for a second. Man, you had me. Again, reports are coming out that they're desperately pursuing a lot of different players here. Ohtani Morrissey reported. I hope not. And we already know how this goes. Could probably be a leadoff hitter? Yeah, probably. 31 years old, has a decent bit of speed. He's more of a well-rounded player than some of the other guys, and that's the biggest thing. And again, dun dun dun. Done, Shane. You are now a moderator. Toronto definitely offered something north of $250 million to Burnes. Yeah. 100%. I've heard offers. I think the offer started at 6 to 11. That was what I was told the offer started at. But it's interesting. And again, John Heyman has come out and said, I can get the screenshots again. John Heyman has come out and said Santander to Toronto is buzz. Whatever that means. So buzz of Santander to Toronto. Shane, you don't have to time out the liars, but definitely the spammers. People spam. But the liars, you can let them troll a little bit. Let them troll. Legit question. Why not sign Bo long-term now while his value is the lowest? Would Bo turn down 10 years, 180? I think he definitely would turn down 10 years, 180. What is that? 18 million a year? He's turning that down. Heyman's buzzing right now. Heyman is buzzing. I have such a I'm gonna stay live for a little bit here because I have such a weird feeling that something is gonna happen. I'm getting that feeling. Do you ever get that feeling when you're doom scrolling through Twitter and you can kind of just feel that something's gonna happen? It's kind of the vibe I have right now. I don't know if anyone else gets that feeling. Maybe it's just because obviously um we're in it. What's up, gaming? Hope you're doing well because Bo ain't signing with the Jays. Possible. Definitely not for 18 years, 18 million a year, even though he's coming off of a horrible, horrible contract. Schneider and Burnes, I think one of them. It's one of those weird. I have the energy. I think today is the day. Um, is it bad? I'll be more excited for Centenaire than Burnes. I think I don't. I mean, Burnes is a better player for sure. But if Vladdy's deal, it'll start with a 4 for sure. I have that feeling every hour. Yeah, I didn't yesterday though. I didn't yesterday because winter meetings are officially over now, so it's a bit less. I mean, there's still a ton of things going on. I think Tanner Scott would be great. I just don't think the Jays are paying for a reliever like that. Random guy. I'm not going to fall for it again. I actually have I have noties on now here, so kind of. Burnes isn't going to Toronto. Probably giving them a small hometown discount, but if it's taking this long, San Francisco hasn't matched or come close to the Jays' offer. Beach Benny, I completely agree. And that's the only reason I'm still optimistic a little bit is he is from San Francisco. Reports have come out that he really would prefer to go to San Francisco. So if unless the Giants are going to drastically increase their offer, then I mean, there's a reason he's not there yet. Cesar, don't believe him. I'll tell you if I'll let you know if anything happens. I have John Heyman open here. I'll let you know. Don't believe the chat. Unless a bunch of people are spamming the same thing, like they did when Tani signed when we were live, and of course when Juan Soto signed. But we'll know. The bullpen is in worse shape than last year. Yeah. I don't know. They got Nick Sandlin and Jimmy Garcia. I don't know if it's in worse shape. I don't know if it can be in worse shape. They were like the worst bullpen in baseball. Trade for Ryan Helsley. Leah, yeah, I don't know what's going on lately. I think it's because I'm getting over the flu. I had like a really long cold. So it happens sometimes, you know? It happens, which is crazy because it never used to happen, which is why I think it's because of my flu. I don't know if it was what flu it was, but maybe long COVID or something. But either way, that's why my voice occasionally will crack, Leah. That's why it'll crack. Hey, at least you're getting entertainment, even if it's laughing. I mean, I think Buzz is on a lower. I think a Buzz is on a lower rung on the probably scale than a plane is landing. Even with Santander, they would still need at least 3 more major moves. Yeah. Depends what you consider major moves. Because right now, either Chad Green or Jimmy Garcia is the closer. For all you asking, what's up, Davey boy? It's a name I recognize. Been around for a while. We're also going to have Peter joining us in like 20 to 25 minutes from the phone because he's going to be driving home from work. So you're going to get Peter's takes on all this. And again, we'll be live for a while longer because I have some feeling something's coming. But at the end of the day, either way, Peter is going to be joining to get his takes on the latest news. And again, and of course the Lauer signing. I do think Santander is going to be a J though. I do think that. I think the Jays will extend Vladdy's contract. No. I think ultimately they'll get it done, but it might not be till the off season. Try to hit to 200 likes. Can we hit 200 likes? Also, if you're watching right now, look down and see if you're subscribed. And if you aren't, help us towards our goal of 15,000. If we can hit 15,000 on Christmas before Christmas Day, it's 12 days away. We might even have I might have a little Christmas Eve stream for you all. I don't know if any of you guys were here for a Christmas Eve stream 2 years ago, but it was one of the most electric streams. Christmas Eve night streams, they hit. They hit. Jay should land Kenley Jansen as a closer 1-year deal. I don't know if they're gonna. Would you trade Bo for William Contreras? That's interesting. I don't know. I doubt it. I mean, maybe. That's just a weird trade. Jays should get Miller from the A's William, thank you for becoming a member. If we don't get Burnes at a spike, go get Bauer. I'm not going to touch on him. I don't think he's going to be in the MLB, though. Come on, legend. Uh, Will is an OG. I know, Will, you've been around for a very long time. Gaming, I remember that. Yeah, you were in you. Was it you? I think it was actually Lee, a guy named Lee Fugere, who donated, and we sang a Christmas song two years ago, Christmas Eve. You and Mo did have a donation war. We'll be live on. I think we'll be live on Christmas Eve as well. It's always good. I like the Christmas Eve streams. Atkins could have got a deal with Vladdy. Thank you for subscribing, Brody. Thank you. Yeah, he's I love Mo. He's a beast. I don't know if I don't think the A's are going to trade Mason Miller either, for what it's worth. I just don't think that happens. Yeah, I'd trade Bo for Jackson Holiday, of course. Legend member for 23 months. You're an OG as well. Couple OGs here. Couple OGs. I remember that. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought I saw something there. When you look at the farm system right now, do you guys think you're deep enough to justify a trade for Jesus Luzardo from Miami? It would be an interesting trade. Very good pitcher. That being said, I don't necessarily think that the Jays are going to go out and. I do think they're exploring the trade market for a starter, and maybe they do make a trade for a starter. You know, I've heard there's a bunch of different guys. Jesus Luzardo, the Jays have been linked to. Bailey Ober, the Jays, could be interested in. Like a lot of different pitchers like that, guys that you're not really hearing about as much. Yeah, I saw that, Boo. I think we had a screenshot of that somewhere. Sign Santander, sign Jock, trade for bullpen, sign Manaea. That is a realistic offseason, I think. You get Santander, but then you'd have to make him play the outfield every day. And then you also sign Jock, and then you trade for bullpen help. I don't hate it. I do think if they're going to go in the bullpen or even starter route, I mean, Sean Manaea is interesting. But saw that as well, that Jim Bowden was confident that Corbin Burnes signs with the Jays. I don't know. I think it was taken a bit out of context there. I think he was saying of all the teams who are, less about reporting and more his speculation. Sign Vlad for $13,520. I don't hate it. It's a lot of money. A lot of money. Jays love processes, but not signings. Yep. I would agree with that. Can't believe the Jays made a signing and it was Eric Lauer. Crazy. The Yankees did not want to part with Luis Gil. Interesting. Didn't want to part with Luis Gil. Or Luis Hill. Either way. This free agent class should... Oh. I mean, at the end of the day, it's... They could have... I don't think anyone is off the board yet prior to... I mean, I guess aside from Juan Soto to a degree, that the Jays fans really want... Not really wanted, but were really involved in. Like Willie Adames, I don't think they were ever going to get. Corbin Burnes still available. Anthony Santander is still available. Tassi Hernandez is still available. Juan Soto off the market. Tyler O'Neill's the one I think would have made some sense. Thank you, Dominic. I've really been enjoying the streams. We're going to be going live a lot for you all. And I think these moves are going to... I think it's Heel as well. Yeah, Luis Heel. Yeah. Luis Heel. A lot of hard to pronounce. Not even hard to pronounce. There's a lot of names to remember how to pronounce. Atkins was a pitcher, so he has a soft spot. Yeah, I'm glad we don't have Soto. I would have loved Soto. I actually rewatched my stream yesterday from Ohtani last year. We really thought we had Ohtani, huh? I think all of us thought we had Ohtani. Just devastating stuff. Absolutely devastating. Who's this? Okay. Devastating. Yeah, Luis Heel. Luis Heel. Okay. So the latest we have is Heyman hearing buzz of Santander to TO, which is interesting. I mean Soto, yeah, he would have been phenomenal. Would have been great. I'm curious to see again. I know there's some more people in the chat now. Where is the screenshot? Who would you guys rather? I want to ask you again, or let me ask you this question: if you get in a nutshell, would you guys want an Anthony Santander signing? Just type yes or no. And again, other moves, I'm sure to come in some capacity, but would you want or would you be happy slash content with an Anthony Santander signing? And again, more moves would come probably in the form of a trade here. But I'm just curious to see because I feel like even if they go out and they get Santander, people are going to be upset. But like I think in a nutshell, you have to take it, right? Yeah. Okay. We're all on the same page. Hits for power. Dodgers and left-handed pitcher Tanner Scott have strong interest. Interesting. That'd be. Give me a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting. I'm looking at some things. Excuse the typing. Yes, to all three players. It's interesting. Okay, so a lot of yeses. He does hit bombs, and ultimately that's kind of what it comes down to. Also, you're taking him away from Baltimore. And then if Burnes goes away from Baltimore, looking good. Not really, because the Yankees are still loaded. Still not too scared of the Yankees, though. Can't believe Alex Anthopoulos locked up Acuna for 100 mil, even though he had bad injury since and masked for work. Unbelievable work. I don't know why I accepted that deal. I do also think the Yankees are probably going to pursue Christian Walker, which is someone like that we haven't discussed on this channel, but like they traded Spencer Horwitz. Would we want to for them to consider a Christian Walker signing? 800 OPS in 3 straight seasons is a first base slash DH. Like it handicaps them a little bit, but I don't think they're going to do it. But he hits for power. He had 36 home runs and 33 home runs and then 26 home runs. I don't hate it. Won a gold glove last year first. The problem is gold glove first baseman. Vladdy's a first baseman. Screw it all. Put Vladdy to third. Put Christian Walker at first, and we have offense. Vladdy at third. Christian Walker, he is 33 years old. I also 33. I also think they're going to get I do think the Yankees are going to get Alex Bregman. Which we can pivot to that question now. Would you guys like to see Alex Bregman on the Blue Jays? Which is something we discussed earlier. The answer in yesterday or the day before yesterday's stream was no. But I'm curious. Because like I mean, it's intriguing to say the least. I don't know. I don't think it would age well. Jimenez can play third, short, and yeah. I mean, I think Jimenez is the shortstop of the future, assuming Vladdy or Bo doesn't resign. Yeah. Okay. Same as the other day. I'll take anyone at this point. Yeah, I mean that's valid. What are the odds of Santander going to Toronto in your opinion? Percentage? If I had to put a number on it, like 60%. That's my guess. That's my prediction right now. 60, 65% as of right now. And that could change. I would say 65%. What percentage would you guys put in your confidence level of Ross Atkins going out and get Santander? Luis Arias, no thank you. Good hitter. Need people who can hit for power. And he literally is the opposite of that. But man, oh man, would that be a Ross Atkins signing? I think 60%-ish, based on what I'm hearing. Yeah, I don't think he's going back to Houston either. It's no world. What are the odds of anyone coming to Toronto? Jimmy Garcia, 100%. Yeah, I don't think they go Luis Arias. I just don't think it's a world where that happens. 13%. Okay, okay. I mean, really, I could also say 50% between them and the field, but like we've heard Santander dating all the way back to as soon as the season ended. Ben Nicholson-Smith, Chad Davidi, they came out. They said that you're hearing it now as it's closer. He hasn't signed elsewhere. Chris Reimer with the $6.99. Thank you so much for the donation. Sean Manaea would be a nice pivot if they don't get Burnes. I agree, Reimer. And I think Sean Manaea, it's a guy Peter's been super high on. I do think Sean Manaea, if they strike out on Burnes, you might see him go to the Jays in short order, but they might overpay him. $2 from Mr. Julius H. Thank you so much. Teos here is a proven playoff performer. He is. Jays need to get to the playoffs, though, too, which they haven't been able to do. I mean, they have, and they had to win playoff games. We're 20. Your support's crazy. We're 26 likes away from 200, which would be huge. We're also 24 subscribers away from 14,400. If we can hit that by the end of the stream, 24 more subs. It's like 700 of you watching. So if you aren't subscribed, scroll down, have a quick look. Daily Jays content. Promise you won't be disappointed. And you get to hear me say with a grain of salt every video. I'd honestly be happiest with a new front office. I think that might be on the horizon after this year. Diesel Man, where do you see that? Let me know, Diesel Man. Where do you see that from? 5 years for Santander? I mean, it makes sense given the market. Dafty Duck with the $6.99. What do we think about Alek Manoah at third base in Toronto? What would be the trade? Thank you so much, Dafty Duck, for the $6.99. Thank you so much. Your guys' support this stream is crazy. Again, Cesar F, best J show around. Appreciate that. That's the goal. That's the goal. Thank you so much to both of you guys for the donation. I don't know what a trade for Alex Bohm would look like. A lot of people are out on Alex Bohm, and I saw a trade proposal, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on it. I gotta find it. I think it was. I don't know the exact deal, but it was something. It was prospects, obviously. Would you guys want Alek Bohm? The Jays are on there. Jays are on there. Would you guys want Alek Bohm? He's rumored. He's definitely rumored. I will get his stats up for you all. I don't think I'd want him though. Put up a 3 WAR last year. Had a 779 OPS. I think he cost too much. He could almost certainly cost too much. But it's interesting. Eric Lauer, 6 ERA. Had some good years, though. Had some good years. Thank you again for the donations, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I prefer Berger at third base over Bohm. Okay. Play the upside. That being said, Bohm had a solid year. What would you trade Bo for? I think if they trade Bo Bichette, it would be for MLB-ready prospects. Or players, for that matter. Like a retool rather than anything else. A retool. Something of, almost like the Kyle Tucker trade, but in a lower extent. They got Isaac Paredes and they got a couple of prospects. If the Jays want to really fill themselves out, they can do that. Crazy Barger take. Yeah. Jays have to overpay. Okay, we're getting Peter in here. Just give me a moment. Get some Peter's thoughts on this. We're going to get it ready. Give me a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Get Peter in here. Go to Seattle as part of a package for a starting pitcher. Could be done. It very much so could be done. I wouldn't hate that at all either. He'd be the third best hitter on the team. Yeah, like he had a very solid year. Seiya Suzuki would be the dream. He would be the dream. Lauer power. I can make it. We should get that hashtag going. I'm going to get Peter in here. Okay. I think Brent Rooker would start more. Yeah, at the very least. Actually, don't hate that package. Boo Must Die. Crazy name. Peter, I think they can hear you. I do believe. Though I can't hear you. So maybe they can't yet. Let me know if you guys hear Peter once he starts speaking. Need to trade Bo during the trade deadline. If he's not re-signed, Saya going nowhere. He's in Japan recruiting Roki. I mean, I would love for the Jays to get Roki Sasaki. I would love it. Don't think it's gonna happen. One of the White Sox had an interview with him though. Again, buzz at Toronto. No, he hasn't. He's not speaking yet. He hasn't spoken yet. Once he starts speaking, hopefully. Yeah, he hasn't started. I can't hear him either.
Hey, Nick.
Oh, there he is. Now we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry about that. Little mix-up going on.
I think they can hear you now. Let us know in the chat. Pretty
Okay.
sure. But either way, Peter, I know you were at work. You guys should be able to hear him now. There's some stuff going on. A lot of trades going across the MLB. I think the Santander stuff. I don't know how much you were able to tune in, Peter, but the buzz is starting to pick up to Toronto. We've had a few different people. John Heyman said that he's hearing buzz of Santander to Toronto.
Okay.
So hearing buzz. So take that for what you will. You have Carlos Baerga saying that the Astros are heavily pursuing him, which I don't believe at all. Anything else that you need to be privy to? Are we missing anything in the chat here? They signed Eric Lauer.
Wow. That's a momentum shifter right there. That's an off-season changer.
Yeah, it changes
for the MLB.
It changes
landscape.
everything, I think, and we can discuss it in a video a little bit. But he actually had some good years. We actually had some good.
But
years.
it's a minor league deal.
It's not. Yeah, it's not even that. It's a non-roster invitee. So.
Oh, there you go.
But I've been asking the chat this, and we've kind of been going back and forth here about Santander versus Teoscar, and people were saying we have a poll still up, and there's how many votes in it? There's a lot of votes.
I voted on that.
600 votes. 51% say Santander. 49% say Teoscar. And I'll end the poll there.
That is crazy to me. You can make the case that they are sort of similar players, but when we're comparing just overall player to player, I think Teoscar Hernandez is unequivocally a better guy. Maybe Santander has a little bit more power, and the fact that he's a switch hitter might have some people prefer him over Teo, but give me Teo all day, every day.
Yeah, I think, and we've had the stats up. There's a couple. So obviously Teoscar had a much higher, only a 0.2 higher F WAR, a much higher B WAR. Yeah, Shane, don't worry. It's not going to happen. So last season, obviously Teoscar had an 840 OPS. He had 33 home runs, 9 RBIs. Anthony Santander, 44 home runs, 102 RBIs. Santander's a switch hitter. Teoscar isn't. Teoscar's a better defender, is a less true outcome guy. Like Teoscar gets on base way more, gets a lot more doubles and actual hits. Like Anthony Santander is kind of just home run or bust to a degree. And he's also a worse defender, I believe. They're both pretty bad defenders, though. He's also a switch hitter, but you'd also be stealing him from the Orioles. So there's some intangible stuff there. That being said, I don't think he's signing the AL East anyway, so that's not necessarily a positive regardless.
Well, the way I look at it is that either one helps significantly for the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, you can try your best to get both, but if you get one of them, I think you're in a much better spot than you are right now if we're looking at the team as currently constructed. So
yeah.
I don't care what you have to do, get one of them because you need some power in that lineup. I'll take it in any form that they can get it in. I prefer Teo as a player. He's got a bit more speed. He fits more of what the mold of the Blue Jays are, kind of versatile and can do a lot of different things, whereas Santander is a one-trick pony. I'm not saying Teoscar is a 5-tool player by any stretch, but he's at least a capable defender in the outfield. He's a guy that can swipe a bag every now and then. Santander, like you said, Nick, I wouldn't say homer or bust, but pretty damn close to that.
Yeah, and I'm kind of fine with both here. I'm kind of fine with both. I think Santander is good. I think Teoscar is good. I think Santander is more likely at this point. Hearing the buzz towards it. And regarding the Corbin Burnes situation, Peter, I also think the longer this Corbin Burnes situation drags out, the better it is for Toronto. I think, again, I don't have my hopes up on it. That being a Jurickson Profar as well. The reason Ray Hindy's asking how come no one mentions Profar, I think he would be a great option. It's just the Jays aren't, like, they've been heavily linked to Santander and Teoscar as of literally like 30 minutes ago. So it kind of just, I think they're more in on Santander. We've been hearing him forever. But Peter, no matter how you slice it, adding a guy who hit 44 home runs last season, I don't care about the on-base percentage as much. You have tons of guys who can get on base, in theory, on the Toronto Blue Jays. It instantly, and whether you want to, the WAR, 3.3 F WAR, whatever, all that, he's going to hit home runs, and he's going to help this team immensely. He's going to help protect Vladdy and Bo. 44 home runs last year before, 28 home runs, year before 33. That would be near the top of the Toronto Blue Jays home run leaders. So if they get this done, they still need another hitter, but that's a huge step in the right direction. And at least they did something, because we're seeing Devin Williams go to New York. We're seeing all these guys. Of course, Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger is supposedly also on his way in theory and soon to New York. So it's like they need to do something here.
Yeah, and I mentioned this to you off camera, Nick, that it feels like the Blue Jays are playing this really safe, and they're not trying to make moves that make the immediate team better. And what I'm saying by that is Andres Jimenez, I think that's a good trade, but he's locked up until 2029. That, to me, feels like a pivot situation, that you're preparing for Bo Bichette to leave in free agency, or you're preparing to offer him away in a trade. That's what that feels like to me. I don't think it makes your 2025 team significantly better. So in terms of just out and out going for it and swinging for the fences, I don't think the Blue Jays have done that in quite a while here. And I'd like them to just take that risk. The Yankees, even though they lost Soto, I think they're trending in the right direction. The Boston Red Sox swung a massive trade for Garrett Crochet.
Yeah.
Baltimore Orioles are going to keep getting better with all of their young guys that they have. So it's the AL East is getting better in a sense, and you're not. So when are you going to make that big move? When are you going to swing for the fences and stop being conservative? And you mentioned to me that they can't be playing it conservative because this is their last chance. Management is off the hook after this year. So why would they be trying to play it safe? Well, I'll tell you what, Nick, this is what I mentioned to you off camera. It's that maybe they're not off the hook after this season. Maybe Rogers sees the fact that they're not going over budget. They're still managing to field a semi-competitive team and having people fill up the Rogers Center, not last year, but in years past. So why would there be any urgency to change what they're doing? They're a money printing machine that hasn't gone over their budget in a very long time. So I think ownership is a big fan of that, and the fan base is not.
Yeah, we had the off-camera conversation. I don't give a F if they give Teoscar Hernandez 4 years or gets the deal done. If they give Santander an extra, which we're hearing reports now, she ain't coming in. MLB trade rumors article just dropped. Santander wants minimum 5-year deal, which is absurd, but do it. 5 years, $90 million. I'd even go 5 years, $100 million at this point. Is it going to age well? Maybe not. Like
it might,
but at the same time,
he's
not old, and he hits for a ton of power. So it's like you're kind of doing some things. All hockey, don't troll me, Peter. We do have someone. We've been kind of going back and forth. A report. It's a mock guy, like Mock Bomb. I'm sure you're familiar with him, Peter.
Yes.
Take it with as I've been saying, not a grain of salt, but take it with a great amount of caution.
Grain of salt, baby.
Take it with a great amount of caution here. This is from Mock Bomb. He's actually kind of been on fire. It's probably guesswork, but he's been getting some things right lately. Sources, and Peter, you can get your thoughts on this. Whether or not this is true, it's an interesting conversation point. Blue Jays are still in, this is a minute ago, still in on Corbin Burnes, as are the Giants. Belief is Burnes will hold out on a decision in hopes the Giants will raise their offer. Jays still have the highest active bid. Additionally, the Jays have focused in on Anthony Santander. So, again, take it as you will. It kind of makes sense. That's what we've been saying. Like, I think the Jays have the highest offer right now. But at the same time, he wants to go to San Francisco, ideally. So it's fully up to the Giants here to match the offer. And if they match the offer, I think he's a Giant. If they don't match the offer, which every bit of time goes, I think he might be a Blue Jay, because at the end of the day, money speaks more than anything. I have a feeling this Jays offer they have for him right now is hefty.
That's interesting. Yeah, the Blue Jays are just in these negotiations to up the price, it seems, for every high-profile free agent.
Yeah. So,
which absolutely sucks, but you'd like to get one of these guys one of these days, right?
Maybe it's this one. Maybe he's holding out, and then it'd be hilarious if after all this they sign him, and it's just like, well, I didn't really want to come here, but they gave me the most money, so I'll come to Toronto.
Well, if they sign him, that's definitely a positive sign to take away, because they're going to be going over their budget, which is not something that we anticipate. And that means that you can go over that budget even more at that point because you're already over. So you might as well spend and try to make this team the best possible version that it can be with some other additions like a Teoscar Hernandez or an Anthony Santander. But I find it interesting what you were saying about Santander there, how he wants a 5-year deal.
Yeah.
Teoscar Hernandez, the whole reservation there is that he wants a 4-year deal. And I know he's a little bit older, a couple of years older than Anthony Santander, but I would be more inclined to give Teoscar a 4th year as opposed to give Santander, a guy with not as big of a track record and less versatility than Teoscar, 5-year deal.
And it's very interesting because as we're talking about this, I'm seeing on Twitter, literally 5 minutes ago, there was a poll by a guy in Jay's Twitter. Would you rather give Teoscar 4 years at the same AAV or Santander 5 years? And Teoscar is winning the vote. However, a tweet came out from Zach Marshall, if you're familiar, is what it is. So he goes into some of the analytics here. And Peter, I want to get your thoughts on this. I'm going to grab the screenshot for you all because it kind of paints. This is from the a bit of an advanced analytics picture here. These screenshots are getting messy. But so Hernandez is 7th percentile in whiff rate, 73rd percentile in bat speed, -9 outs above average with some pull rate. Santander is 77th percentile whiff rate, 69th percentile bat speed, -2 outs above average with some of the things. Santander is 2 years younger and hits from the left side which is what the Jays need. Now, this is all advanced analytics, which again, I take a lot into. That being said, so basically Santander swings and misses less. Teoscar is a faster runner, can swipe bags more. Teoscar is 2 years older, whereas Santander is 2 years younger. And he also hits from the left side, Peter. So it's interesting.
Switch hitter.
Well, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah.
That kind of convinces me a little bit. I like the idea of a left-handed hitter a lot. Switch hitter in this case. So they have their pros and cons, and yeah, Santander is 2 years younger, so I guess it kind of makes sense while he's searching for a 5-year deal, a bit less risky.
Yeah, I understand it, but again, I'll say it again. Just give me somebody that can drive the ball out of the ballpark. I don't care if you magically learn how to hit 30 home runs, Nick, and you're signed to a big league deal. I don't care. Just give me somebody that can hit the long ball, and then we're talking. I don't care if it's Santander. I don't care if it's Teoscar Hernandez. I don't care if Daniel Vogelbach gets 5 years younger and regains his form, and they sign him. Give me somebody that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. That's all I want.
Yeah, Daniel Vogelbach in his prime, he was hitting some nukes. He was definitely
had a 40 home run season, something like that.
I cannot believe we watched Daniel Vogelbach last year play for the Toronto Blue Jays. Also, shout out to 750 of you in here.
That was the state of the team. That was the state of the team. Hopefully, we're off to greener pastures as this season rolls around. In order for that to happen, you need a guy. And
Santander's a start. 5 years, $100 million. I'd get it done, especially with the way that this has kind of gone. Also, we're 18 subscribers away from 14,400, and there's 760 plus of you in here. I'm sure a lot of those who are watching aren't subscribed, so scroll down and let's see if we can hit 14,400. I'm gonna refresh it.
Let's get to 15.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 15 before Christmas for a Christmas Eve stream. But hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Peter, I want to ask what your current feel is on the Corbin Burnes situation. People are saying 7 years, 250 is probably the Jays' offer right now. Might be a little bit more. I know you've been kind of more not pessimistic necessarily. They have other holes to fill, which I think if you get Corbin Burnes, so let's say they sign Corbin Burnes in the next hour or 2 hours or day, and they Corbin Burnes and Santander, I'm all in on. That being said, if they don't get Corbin Burnes, Sean Manaea and Anthony Santander, if they get those two guys, would you guys consider that a good offseason? Let's just say they get. I'm asking you and the chat. Just type yes or no. You can obviously give a more elaborate answer here. Anthony Santander, Sean Manaea.
I like that, but I read earlier today or a couple of days ago that Manaea was looking for a 4 or 5 year deal, which I'd be less inclined to do if I'm the Blue Jays. My only worry about the Burnes situation, Nick, was that I wasn't sure how much money would be left to go around, if any. But the fact that if they sign him, they're going to be going over budget, I think that kind of goes out the window. It goes without saying that you'll be able to acquire some other talent because you're going to be over that luxury threshold that has been talked about so much in these past couple.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Manoah has been solid. I think at that point you still need another bat, which was where Tyler O'Neill would have been perfectly suited to slot in, but he obviously was signed very, very early. If Tio comes back, then we know there's something with Vlad because he said he would come back if Vlad was staying. I think bringing in Teo would help in the case of keeping Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I mean, they're literally working out together right now, so it is what it is. I like Manoah. I think he's the best value pitcher this year. Yeah, Peter's been a big Manoah guy for a while.
That's what we think, but with these new valuations that are coming out, the guy might get 5 years, $100 million, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, and which is why I think a trade is most likely here. I think the Jays are most likely to trade for a guy who's maybe. I mean, I mentioned to you. I don't know if your thoughts are on Bailey Ober, Peter, or a pitcher of that nature. 12-9, 3.98 ERA last year, 3.43 ERA the year before. And again, it's just kind of to bring up the fact of like a guy like Bailey Ober is 28 years old. I feel like they're going to go for a starting pitcher on a team that doesn't have a crazy contract, but has been solid rather than, I mean, that's if they strike down on Corbin Burnes because the money these players are getting is ridiculous. I think they're fine spending that extra money on Santander or Teoscar Hernandez, but not, I mean, they have to, but not necessarily a starting. I mean, if Manoah's getting 5 years, wrap it up. There's no point.
Yeah. Nick, I'll be home in about an hour.
Okay.
And I want you to start a poll here. Will the Blue Jays make a signing by the time I get home?
I'm going to say a move because a trade would count.
Okay. Any move.
Will
what do you
the
think?
Jays make a move before Peter is home? 1 hour. I'm going to go with, I don't know. I'm going to, okay, Joel, holy. Let's chill with, people are spamming the day, Peter. It's a spam day. It's a spam day.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with
Just type it a couple times, not 10,000 times, but I don't think so. I think they might actually. I think something's going to happen tonight. That's my best bet. I think something's going to happen tonight, and I'm glad that you are going to be home in an hour because that lines up good with me. Maybe we'll have another Andres Jimenez V2 where I'm out getting sushi and they make a massive move.
Are you getting sushi again?
Not sushi. No.
Well, it seemed to be
maybe I should. Maybe
you should.
So another deal goes down.
I would never eat anything else again.
I like that deal. Jays front office exhausted from all the work they did on the Lauer deal. Yeah. I will say, Peter, I broke the Lauer signing. Well, I didn't break it, but I was live when it happened. I've been live now. A lot of signings have been going down. Well, your
chances increase when we're going live every day.
That is true. Yeah. Until they. Oh, we didn't go live yesterday, and it was a pretty dead day yesterday, and no moves went down. So you're kind of right.
Well, there you go. I think we have our answer.
Also, I don't know what if you want to get your quick thoughts on the Devin Williams or Kyle Tucker trades, how they affected Jays or the AL. I'm happy Tucker's not in the AL East, and Devin Williams scares me a bit. It's kind of my take on it.
Devin Williams is, I think, the third best reliever in the American League now after Emmanuel Clase and Mason Miller, the Oakland Athletics. So this is a big move that the Yankees wanted to make, especially after losing Clay Holmes. And they're not effing around, man. They're not.
Oh, no, and they're going to sign somebody, I guarantee you.
Yeah, they lost Soto, and they're not sulking. They're not wondering, how are we going to recover from this? They're making moves.
They're making panic moves, some would say.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I think the Devin Williams deal is a pretty good one. I don't know too much about that prospect, but I looked him up, and he's 5'6", 155 pounds, with virtually no power. I don't know how well that plays up to a major league level. So I think this was a decent deal. Nestor Cortez kind of got lost in the shuffle, especially after the Max Fried signing. So if I'm a Yankee fan, I'm ecstatic over that signing because Devin Williams is one of the best relievers in baseball.
Yeah.
And then obviously Kyle Tucker going to the Chicago Cubs. I don't understand it from Cubs perspective because I still think they're a horrible team and they're not going to make the playoffs. But hey, they're pushing all their chips in the middle of the table, which is something that I'd like to see the Blue Jays do every now and then, but it's been a long time since we've seen it.
Yeah, I don't hate it from the Cubs' perspective. It doesn't make sense. Like, they're not going to be good. I wouldn't be surprised if they flip them at the deadline. And maybe they get more. And yeah, so an article just dropped, Peter, and it's probably something to cover in a video tonight, actually, or sometime soon, regarding Santander. So it is confirmed here. I'm going to save this because we need it. Anthony Santander is indeed seeking a 5-year deal. So I'm just going to send it to you to keep it in track for later. So yeah, John Heyman reported that. So the Red Sox and Jays are currently pursuing Santander, and he is seeking a 5-year contract in free agency. Man, oh man. So what?
The Red Sox scared me a little bit in that race because they lost Tyler O'Neill, so it makes sense for them.
Yeah. 5 years, like what, $100 million probably, if you're asking about 20 million AAV. If you're doing 25 million AAV, 5 years is a lot more than I thought he was going to get. Atkins reminds me of JP Riccardi. Narrative will change so quick in a week, blowing it up or going for it. I mean, I think we know they're going for it. Just based on them. I guess we technically don't know that yet, but like all signs are pointing to them going for it. They're definitely not blowing it up because they traded for Andres Jimenez, which again could be a long-term piece. I still think that deal was very. Wait, are you guys serious? I have two people in chat saying Santander to Boston, but maybe they're just very coordinated. I think you might just be very coordinated. I think we're chilling. Scaring me. It's always that time. It's that time of year, Peter, where
I just said it, that Santander in Boston scares me.
It's 3 people now, but I don't see it. So I think it's just people. Look at Mockbomb. I did have that right there in the top right. Shane, I don't know if you want to double check. I know Peter's driving. I don't think he's going to Boston. I don't think he's going to Boston. Scaring me. Jason Eric, Lauer to minor league deal, big moves. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it does. Yeah. I like Santander to the Red Sox if you're a Red Sox fan, but yeah, it's a joke. Yeah. It's picking it up. I would love Santander to the Blue Jays. I really do. I feel like we've been talking about it for so long because as soon as the offseason ended, maybe even before the offseason.
I just want to move, man. I'm a freak for moves. I love them. It hits. It hits different, man, when you just get a Jeff Passan notification.
And it's your team.
and it's your team. There's nothing quite like it. Whether it's a minor move, whether it's a huge move, doesn't matter. I just love transactions. Give me all of them.
Yeah. I mean, we think back. I was looking at this off stream. The first big one, Hyunjin Ryu, how insane that was at the time. 4 years, 80 million. And then they go out, they get Gosman, they get George Springer. It's been kind of quiet now. They strike out on Ohtani. Yeah. So, Peter, there's rumblings that Yankees are acquiring Bellinger is very close. So, it's not fully confirmed, but I think a lot of people are saying that. And again, it doesn't scare me a ton. But I mean, if you have a bounce back year from Bellinger, like he has an MVP ceiling. I don't think he's that same player at this point. Like, that's scary, though.
I'm not too scared about that, but
I wouldn't want the Jays to get him. I would much rather Santander, which is funny because they probably put up similar works of defensive abilities, but
I think they have enough defense. How many team gold gloves do you need in your roster? 2 years in a row now.
Literally every position.
Unbelievable.
Literally every position. Cohen going to regret the Soto deal? No way. There's no world where I don't think any team is going to regret the Soto deal. Like if the Jays would have got him, I don't think they would have regretted it. I don't think anybody would have regretted it. And Peter asked, this question was asked, and I was intrigued by it. Would you trade Arjun Namala for Luis Robert? 1 for 1.
I think 1 for 1, yeah.
Okay, I agree.
Does Bo get re-signed?
No. But you have Andres Jimenez.
Yeah, I would do that.
In this hypothetical. I think you'd do it either way. I think if that deal was on the table for Ross Atkins, he would do that.
Who asked that?
This was a while ago. Now maybe I don't think he said 1 for 1, but I was just assuming like maybe it's Namala being a headliner of a package, we could say. But like Robert has superstar potential, and so does Arjun Namala in a while.
And I think Robert is locked up for another 3 years. Well, on a pretty decent deal.
Even though he had a down year last year, but like
coming
off of a 5-war year before that. So
yeah, but also with the White Sox too, not really fair to him.
that is true. That is true. Do you think we're getting Burnes? My gut is saying the Giants, though with each passing hour, I like the Jays' chances more and more. Because at the end of the day, he wants to be in San Francisco, I think. Just the Giants aren't offering him. Like, I'd assume the Jays have like a, 7-year, $270 million, some crazy offer in there. That's my guess. Which is
Should we get another poll going, Nick?
yeah, we can. Shoot the question.
Would you rather be stuck in traffic for 2 hours or be sentenced to watch 20 straight hours of Jays offensive highlights with no Vladdy included?
Okay. Stuck in traffic for 20 hours or watch
for 5 hours. 5 hours
of Jays offense highlights. No Vlad. That's a good one right there. I think I would rather be. I mean, that was let us know there in the poll. That's hilarious. 7 years, 265. Mockbomb saying the Jays have offer has to be significantly higher, or else Burn would be he is confirming that the Jays offer is significantly higher than the Giants offer at the moment, because otherwise Burns would have been a Giant already. Which is what we're seeing.
I'm struggling to believe the guy. And I know he's gotten some.
Yeah, I don't really believe him either. But I do think the process behind that is probably right.
Maybe because, I mean, he probably would have signed by.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, his family lives in California, so you'd assume. Peter, can you ask, or Nick, can you ask Peter, or is it who his top 3 guys in free agency he would want for the Jays to become an immediate contender? Wait, 2 hours in traffic or 20 hours?
2.
Oh, I put 20 and people are still voting traffic.
Well, that should give you your answer right there.
I meant to do 2 hours of traffic, or 5 hours of highlights. Same thing. Anyways, your 3 remaining free agents that would instantly turn this team into a contender.
That's a good question.
I could only I gave like Burns and Santander and then whoever else they want to get for the 3rd. But it's kind of tough because a lot of the
does it have to be free agents or could it be trademark?
You could do trade.
Okay. All right, so let's go with Corbin Burnes.
Agreed. I like it. San Francisco and Jays will be over 30 million. I agree, Beach Benny. I think the Jays offer is $30 million, probably higher at the moment in total value than the Giants, or else he would have already been a Giant. That is my initial thoughts.
Let's go with Oscar Hernandez.
Okay.
And Ryan Helsley.
Okay. So you shore up your bullpen, you get a great hitter, and you get Corbin Burnes. I like it. I am going to, and that's because I don't know. I'm thinking of realistic hitters who are available. Maybe so mine would be, I prefer Santander a little bit over Teo, but at the same time, I can.
Either one.
Burnes, Alonso, Santander. I like that one. I don't know if they'd get him, but I guess it doesn't have to be super realistic in the sense of
I read that there's not much of a market for Pete Alonso, which I find interesting.
Yeah. What does adding Burnes to this roster really do if the Jays don't make any other significant moves this offseason? I mean, at the end of the day, it still adds, a frontline starter, but Peter, I want to ask someone asked me this earlier. Actually, I guess I didn't ask this question. I'm kind of reframing it. What percentage would you give your confidence level, or what do you think percentage is the Jays land one of Santander to Oscar Hernandez?
50%.
Okay. I think mine was 65. Though mine was 65 if they land Santander. I think one of the two, probably the same percentage.
I just think the urgency is really high.
Yeah, it's just like if you don't land either one of those guys, you're cooked.
Yeah. Unless you're trading for Luis Robert or Mike Trout.
I mean, 40% of the chat, 14.4K yet. Well, I haven't checked in a little bit. We were very close. We are 10 subscribers away. 10 subscribers away from 14.4 thousand. 10 of you who are watching right now, if 10 of you hit the subscribe button, we'll hit the goal.
Come on, people.
Just
Come
10,
on.
10 of you or more, and then we'll go to 14. I mean, 14.5 thousand. That's a pretty big milestone as well, but 10 away. 69%, 30%, 40%, 80%. Kepler for sure. We discussed Kepler very early on in the.
Kepler can be a backup piece. Where does Joey Loperfido fit in?
Yeah, I think they were hoping he was going to be better in his play, and he's kind of been bad.
Well, I think you got to see a little bit more from him. He has to get a chance. I don't know. I don't think you could really judge him based off that sample size.
I agree. But where do you put him, though? You also can't start the season with him as your starting left fielder, I don't think, if you want to be competitive.
Well, I think as it stands right now, he's probably your everyday center fielder. Varsho starts on the injured list.
I agree. So, you're probably right, actually. So, even if they sign Santander, you'll have Santander in left, you'll have Springer in right, and you'll have Loperfido in center until Dalton Varsho comes back. Then you can kind of see who's playing well. I mean, they're not going to bench Santander or anything like that. So it'd just be Loperfido, and they can kind of, I guess, swap them in and out depending on what's going on. But, like, I still love the trade. I think Will Wagner is the more intriguing piece.
Maybe.
But I think Jake Bloss is the actual.
Jake Bloss is probably the headliner.
Definitely. I still can't believe he got that for Kikuchi, by the way. Cannot believe it.
I don't think he's ready for the season.
No, I don't think he starts. Loperfido, Wagner, and Berger are the new core going forward, especially when Bo and Vlad walk. I don't know. I wouldn't be excited with that core.
No, it's pretty sad. Because Loperfido's, I think, older than Vlad. It's nuts. But
it's all good, Hockey. You don't have to do that. I think we'll hit it naturally. Joey was good for a week. Then he went to the Davis Schneider Island.
Oh, come on.
We also just we're at 14,404. So, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. 14.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
So
nice.
The next goal is 14.5, but we'll thank you guys. What catching options are out there to help Kirk? I've discussed it a little bit. Like, a lot of the guys, I mean, like, they could just bring back Tyler Heineman.
I don't think it's that crucial, to be honest, because Kirk has been pretty consistent at staying on the field. And I don't think they're going to rely on him to be an amazing offensive piece for them. Not like he was a couple of years ago. I think that was more of an outlier. So you can go cheap on that because Kirk can probably catch 120-ish. I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah. I don't think it necessarily is either. I do think they need a backup.
You do need a backup.
I think, like, they could have got Jansen for $8 million, which is kind of funny. Very cheap deal. But they didn't. I know there was mutual interest there, and there's been a lot of interest from Ross Atkins' side. Jordan Romano, all these guys. 5 gifted incoming to celebrate the goal. Shane, thank you. We're about to see some people in the chat. Hopefully, some of you guys are lucky. Jacob Sharp, the guy that they acquired. Yeah, that was actually in the Jimmy Garcia deal. They acquired Jacob Sharp. Could be a backup one. Shane with the 5 gifted. Tom got it. Alex, Hulk, that's crazy. Aaron and David McDonald. Thanks, Shane, in the chat for the membership. We're going to be working on some new emotes coming soon as well. But yeah, Shane, thank you very much.
Nick, how much longer are you looking to stay on?
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling it right now. Feeling good.
Okay, good. Well, what time do you got to go?
I got at least an hour left. Like, until I have to go.
All right.
I'm not saying I'm going to stay live for that long, but we'll see. I mean, I can ask the chat as well, see how they're feeling. I think the vibe is high right now.
I still got a ways to go before I'm home.
Well, we're good. You can type in the chat if you want me to stay live. I assume most of them do. Thank you, Kenneth. Appreciate it. 5 hours? Yeah, well, I can't do that, unfortunately.
5 hours. We're not talking about the Blue Jay highlight.
Yeah, literally, I'll put that up on the screen. Just all the Blue Jay highlights. But we'll be live for a little bit longer. Cape Breton. Shout out you, JB. I think they're going to get Yasmani Grandal. I don't hate it, actually. Kind of funny. Like a veteran. He's very washed, though.
He is.
Yeah. He had an okay finish to the Pirates, though. A 95 OPS plus in 72 games for Yasmani last season.
Switch hitter. I think he's slower than Kirk, by the way.
Yeah, I think they're both first percentile.
I think he's actually slower than Kirk.
I'm gonna check.
Which is insane if you think.
Yeah, Grandal has a 23.2 sprint speed. Alejandro Kirk has a 24.7. He's actually fourth percentile, Alejandro Kirk.
Wow.
He got up there. I think he was first percentile. It is true. I just checked. He is faster, which is hilarious. New subscribers, yes, please stay on a little. I will stay on. We just hit our subscriber goal. I'll stay on a little longer. Maybe we can hit I don't know if we're gonna hit 14.5 thousand by the end of the stream. That might be a little crazy. That's like 90 subs. But maybe there's 90 of you in here who aren't subscribed. And if that is the case, hit the subscribe button. Thank you, Hila. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that right. Hilia for the $6.99 with no message. This is your 5th super chat. Trio Polos. Helia Triopolos. I definitely messed that up, but thank you very much for the $6.99. Helia, I think. Hlia, Peter. What's your guess? Helia?
Ilya.
It's
a Greek name.
Peter got it. Ilya. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. Thank you so much for the $6.99. Let me know if you have any messages. Would you take Aroldis legend with the 5 gifted? They want us to stay live, Peter. They want us to stay live. Dustin Brown, Jason Frazier, Kingfisher, Richie, and Weagles Gamer Girl. Thank you so much. Thank
what?
Thank Legend. Thank Legend.
I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Going on.
A lot of names going. Yeah, I know. It must be hard for you not seeing the screen. Brian Skidmore also just became a member. I have new emotes in the works as well. We're gonna come up with some, Peter. We can come up with some off camera as well, some emotes. Let us know if you want any specific ones in the chat. But thank you so much for your guys' support. It's Peter. I said 15K before Christmas. We had our Christmas Eve stream a couple years ago. Maybe we'll have to revisit that.
Oh yeah. If you guys missed that, you can still go check it out. It's up on our channel. But Nick and I actually started singing.
Yeah, for Lee.
For Lee Fougere.
Maybe we'll sing again this year, 2 years later, to celebrate 15K.
He gave us a $20 super chat, and his request was that we sing a Christmas carol.
Don't remember which one it was.
So I think it was Silent Night.
It was Silent Night. Yeah, and it was $27.99 super chat. I remember that like it was yesterday. I remember that.
So there you go.
Maybe we'll run it back. We'll run it back.
If he wants to sing a Christmas carol, just send a super chat and we'll do it. Dude, we'll do pretty much anything for a super chat.
We're at 14,000.
Leave that up to interpretation.
Why is Ben Nicholson so boring? Did he tweet? I'm fully off the Ben Nicholson Smith train, by the way. Yeah, he didn't tweet. Fully off the train.
Why'd you get angry when did he tweet?
I can't stand his tweets. Job. Can't stand them.
Wow.
Because they're all just negativity. It's not going to happen. And is he right? Probably.
Yeah, well, he's a negative Nancy.
Thank you, Brian Skidmore. He is a Rogers mouthpiece, I think. Which
or
is valid.
A negative
he gets paid
Nicholson.
For it. I respect his hustle. There's no way today. Ken Rosenthal said by the end of this week, and it is the end of the week, so it's like you'd assume. And knowing my luck, Peter, it'll happen when we're not live. I like Ben. I do like him. Like he's a good reporter. Shane said I'll donate $20 not to hear you sing again. Yeah, that's valid. Honestly, it was not great. Peter carried that. Peter.
Wait, who said that?
Shane.
Who said that?
Shane.
Oh, come on, Shane. Are you kidding me?
Mine was bad.
We just got to please the people. So you can't tame me. Don't tame me, Shane. Don't tame me.
Sing Nick Gosse to the Jays. Nick Gosse to the Jays. Is he? Legend, I did not know that. Is that true? I don't know if that's true. Saying Ben Nicholson Smith is a former MLB trade rumors writer. I did not know that, if that is the case. Dance for $20? It's crazy. Would you take Walker Buehler if he missed out on Burnes? Absolutely.
Depending.
It is riskier, but he has the upside. So I wouldn't hate it.
He does, but so many injuries, man. So many injuries. That's what worries me about Walker Buehler. I don't think I'll ever get home, by the way.
There's traffic is crazy?
There is so much traffic, man. And we might get several transactions by the time I get into my driveway.
20 hours. 20 hours. Depends on the money after the injuries. Any news in the Jays? Latest is on the screen. Hearing buzz of Santander to TO. There's some rumors swirling around. What is the rotation looking like? Kevin Gausman, José Berríos. At this point, I guess it's obviously Chris Bassett, Bowden Francis, and Yariel Rodriguez. I would guess. I don't know if you have any objections to that, Peter.
I think Yariel is ideally
bullpen.
So
I agree.
Which is why they're in on Corbin Burnes, maybe some other starters, but I don't think if you list off that rotation, it doesn't need a Corbin Burnes in it. But again, that's a move where you kind of just go all in and say, we're going to get the best possible talent at each and every position, and we're going to go from there.
Thanks, Ilya. Ilya saying you're very welcome. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you to Peter for helping me pronounce his name. If you free Joel, I'll give you a $50 super chat. Who's Joel? I'm assuming he was one of the ones spamming.
Free Joel? Well, free him, Nick. What are you doing?
I think he spammed like 100 times. I think he's trolling.
Well, maybe this is his burner.
Yeah, he's not going to get 50. He's not going to spend 50. I got a gift of membership for whoever that was. Thank you. It was either Legend or Shane. Or Shane. It does need Corbin. Jay's rotation is projected to be in the bottom half of the MLB per steamer. Yeah, I mean, is Kevin Gausman cooked? He might be.
No, I don't think.
He might be.
I don't know how deeply you could read into that either. They're all workhorses. They're all guys that stay healthy. So maybe they're not ace caliber anymore, but I still trust Berríos and Kevin Gausman and Bassett to be in the mid to high threes for ERA.
Yeah, I agree with that. His Ks per 9 is dropped and all those things, specifically Gausman's, but I think he'll be good. I think he had a bad year last year. What's up, Lit Gaming? Hope you're doing well. Familiar name. You were in the last one. You've been around for a while. Yeah, Luis Heel. Yeah. Take it easy, all hockey. Chase should get Trevor Bauer. No. Yariel has the whitest teeth I've ever seen.
Well, I don't think they're real.
I think they're veneers.
Yeah.
I think they're veneers. Which, respect to him, they look good. Teo's a popular guy and Santander is an introvert. Is he?
Well, he sounds like a Blue Jay already with the new culture.
I got it, random guy. I understand. You don't have to keep typing it in. Jay should trade Gausman and Bassett just because they speak up about management. Bassett does. I think. Do you remember that? I think it was Jen someone asked Mark Shapiro, after they lost the season, the team is. Someone in the team said that this team is a joke or something like that, and it was one of the Jays players.
Yeah, I do remember.
I wonder who that is.
Oh, it was. I think it was some. Well, it was a Toronto reporter. I can't remember her name. But yeah, she was like, I remember that question.
Mr. Random Guy chilled. You weren't no hockey. Based on the Jays' management, current China, not see Corbin Burnes being a Blue Jay. Very possible. I don't think so. I think it's unlikely. That being said, I think they have the highest offer on the table right now. Bowden is the ace. I think there's a world, do we think Bowden's performance is sustainable?
Not to that level. Not over the course of 162.
I don't think so.
That's the best pitcher baseball.
Yeah, well, yeah. I guess if he can be a middling 3 ERA over a full season, I would be very happy. However, I'm not sure.
Which is why, dude, if you have 4 guys that have a 3.5 ERA or a 4 ERA, that gives you a pretty good chance to win.
I agree.
So I get the projections and all that, but all of these guys eat innings, and they give you a shot to win. So what's the issue with the rotation? Why do they need an ace? I will take an ace, but only if they keep adding after that.
Yeah, I think they definitely need one more player or one more pitcher, starting pitcher. Because obviously you want Yariel in the bullpen. I would prefer someone who's really a high-level pitcher, but I don't think it's needed. They need hitting. Santander's going to be a Toronto Blue Jay? I think so, too. I think it's very likely at this point. I think that's if there's one thing I'm half confident about, it's them getting one of Teo or Santander, and it's interesting. I'll give Bout another 2 years to see if he's the real deal. Yeah. I mean, he had a good season even the season before last year as a long reliever, so, I don't know, he's been kind of been, like, getting groomed into this role, and he looks pretty good so far.
Well, he struggled a lot at the beginning of last season.
Yes.
Then the injuries, the underperformances, rotation. He got his shot, and he made the most of it. And the year before that, he was in a lot of low leverage situations, a lot of blowout games, and I think his numbers were inflated because of that. I think he'll ultimately be a high threes, low fours guy in terms of ERA, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's going to be a serviceable fourth or fifth starter for you for a pretty long time. I'm excited to see what he could do this year in a full year where he knows that he's going to have a role on this team.
Hey, Nick and Peter, any noise if we are still in on Pete Alonso? I would temper expectations on that front. I don't think they are. But I've seen crazier things. I mean, they weren't in on Andres Jimenez, so
It's true.
you never really know at this point. Like, there was no rumblings from anybody that the Jays or any team for that matter were in on Andres Jimenez. Jimenez, whatever it is. So, like, I suspect just a out of nowhere trade or signing. And again, they'll probably get Santander, but I'm also still shocked, Peter, that Corbin Burnes is yet to sign, and it's December 13th. I know last year Blake Snell went right up until the deadline, but he's a Scott Boras client, which again, so was Blake Snell last year, and all these guys, Matt Chapman. But like, all signs were pointing to them signing or him signing like soon, and I still think that happens. But he must really want to go home to San Francisco.
Yeah. We'll see, because if he wanted to, it would have been done by now. So I'm sure money is definitely an issue here. And Scott Boras' clients, money is always number one priority. They could ship you off to Mars if you get the best contract if you're a Boras client for all he. So I think money is definitely a big factor here. It's his last big payday.
Yeah.
And he's going to try to make the most of it. 31 years old or 30 years old, whatever he is, and he's going to be in line for a 6-7 year contract. He's going to want the most money that he can get. So if that's the Blue Jays, there's definitely a real possibility that they get him. But the Dodgers have always, the Giants, have shown the willingness to spend a lot of money, at least lately. So I'm surprised by what we're hearing that they haven't offered or haven't matched the.
Yeah, they don't want to spend, clearly. Like, you have to assume that the Jays' offer at this point is significantly higher. And then, of course,
they spent on Adames.
Now, yeah, they did. And again, of course, maybe it's term. Maybe the Giants don't want to go to the 7th year. We know the Jays are at this point open to, I don't know. It's interesting. They're willing to spend money. It's just if they get second place in this sweepstakes too, then we're like, okay, well, they offered the most money again. They came up second. Things are getting unfortunate. All these different things. So it's like, I don't know at what point are they just going to say, well, let's make a trade like they did for Andres Jimenez. If you can't sign guys, at least get some players that can hit.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Burnes is definitely high on my wish list if there are other moves to follow, but that's my only concern. I've stated at previous times, I'd love the guy on my team. He's one of the 5 or 10 best pitchers in baseball. I think that argument. But will he allow the Blue Jays to make other moves? Like if you got to go 30 AAV, let's say, or probably even higher, 35 AAV on Corbin Burnes, how much more beyond the tax are you going to be able to go for a guy like Santander or Teoscar Hernandez? Or
hopefully a lot more.
Anybody else? Yeah, hopefully.
But yeah.
We don't know.
I don't want them. I don't think it's worth spending all the money on Burnes. Chuck Taylor saying Giants are not buying Burnes' bluff with the Jays' offer. He was never going to take its leverage. Jays' leverage season all day. Very possible. Like if you're the Giants and he's saying, "Hey, I have an offer of this amount from Toronto," and they know Toronto, he doesn't want to go to Toronto. They might just wait it out, which I think is happening right now. probably what's happening. Because otherwise, he would have just signed with the Giants, which means he'll probably wait it out and then continue to just vibe out and then go to San Francisco. Maybe get San Francisco to up their offer by 20 million, 10 million, which is absurd amount of money in general, but not that much to these contracts.
Yeah, that is absurd. That is absurd. Well, how high would you be willing to go? I'd say like 250, 260.
Yeah, I'm fine with whatever, honestly. I don't even have a limit, but I don't think he wants to be in Toronto. But Nick just telling you wants new news in the news front. You can see it on the screen. I'm keeping it up for that reason. They're still in on Burnes. They're buzz of Santander to Toronto, and we're kind of just comparing the options. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, 250, 260. I don't really care. Give him 300 if that's what it takes, but I don't think they'll do that. I just want them to get a big. Hey, the Jimmy Garcia signing is official as of 50 seconds ago. But I don't know. Like you say 260, like yeah.
I mean, I don't think it goes to 300.
I don't think so either.
Over 6 years or 7 years, that's more than 40 million AAV. I can't see that happening.
No,
that's like $43 million annual.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
He's not going to probably going to make 30.
Yeah, and he was the second biggest free agent on the market, which, funny enough, like, is still not signed, which is kind of crazy to me. I guess aside from Roki Sasaki, he can't be signed for like a month. So it's I have a feeling free agents for some reason don't like Toronto. I think it depends on the free agent. Like Gosman came. I think like location and geography aside, their team's not in a great spot. I mean, you're coming off a 74-win season with two of your best players pending free agents. So unless you're offering money, you'd most free agents would much rather just go to a place if they want to win that has better scenarios. And in this case, the Giants, like, at least it's not the Dodgers fighting for Corbin Burnes, because it's probably wraps then.
It definitely looks bleak if you're a free agent. And the management, the upper management, has managed to dismantle this team that was once a fun, offensive-heavy juggernaut into one of the most lifeless, sad teams in Major League Baseball. So why the hell would you want to sign there? Geography aside, you're right, Nick. I think Canada is a beautiful country. I think Toronto is an amazing city to live in. But why would you go to a management or to a team that is managed by a couple of clowns that have absolutely ruined this organization? That's the way I see it. That has no outlook for the future. Their farm system is one of the worst in baseball. Like you said, Vladdy and Bo are going to test free agency by all accounts next offseason. Why would you want to spend the rest of your career there? I think that is what's holding them back. It's the ineptness of the management. And that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really disagree with it. This is their last chance, and hopefully we'll be looking at. Thank you, Erwin. Hopefully we can look at it in a couple of weeks and say, hey, they figured it out. But like, they need to go ahead and extend Vladdy for one. People are saying preach it, Peter. Having traveled majority of the United States and compensate Toronto. I mean, yeah, I don't think many people or many free agents don't come here because it's Toronto or it's Canada. I think at least this offseason, it's mainly because it's just not good.
I mean, I think it could definitely scare some people off. It's a totally different country. It's something that they're not used to. It's an uncomfortable situation if you're not familiar with it already. So I understand it from that perspective. But why did George Springer come here? Why did Kevin Gausman come here when he was one of the best starters in baseball? Springer was World Series MVP, for God's sake. Like, why did those guys decide to come here? Because the team was fun. And the team
at that time had promise.
Yeah, the team had aspirations to do something special. Now, it's like you fast forward 2 years from where you are right now, and it's like, oh, well, their first baseman, who's the best first baseman in baseball, may not be here by the time I'm into the second year of my deal. Our shortstop is probably not going to be our shortstop next year. Like the rotation is aging, and they're all going to be free agents at the same time. That is what I'm looking at if I'm a free agent. I'm not saying, oh, Canada, it's cold. It's closer to the North Pole than New York. Like, no. Like, dude, that's geography aside, weather aside. It's very similar to New York and to Boston in the way that they are as just cities. So I don't think that's the biggest issue at hand.
Jays designate Nick Rapasso for assignment. Yeah. It's interesting. Of course, you have the border thing, but you can get your TFSA or whatever it's called pre-checks done. So I don't think it's a huge. It's different though. And again, if you have the option between staying in the comfort zone for the same price, sure. I don't know who that is. I recognize the name actually, but maybe not. Aren't we south of Cleveland was like this when they were there, and they're doing the same thing here. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I don't know. I think it'll come down to the Jays offering the most money, and just a free agent that actually wants to come here. But whether that's Santander or whether that's Corbin Burnes is still up in the air, and that's the biggest question. Peter, I'm probably gonna wrap up here now in the next few minutes.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel
shout
like,
out to you, man. Pretty beat after a week of work.
We any final questions for us, for Peter or myself in the chat? We'll have videos coming out for you guys, probably one tomorrow. Again, if any news breaks tonight, we'll obviously be available for it. But any final questions, Peter? Any final thoughts before we wrap up? Shout out to the 600 of you still in here. 2-hour stream. No, we got one signing that broke technically, but
what's his name? Lauer.
Yeah,
Eric Lauer.
I think yeah.
Oh, there it is. Groundbreaking move. I'm still nowhere near home, but yeah, it's. We'll have more news for you guys if something breaks, sure, and we'll be on it.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, shout out to you guys for everything.
Yeah, support was great today, Shane. Everybody who donated, 16 new members, 256 likes. We got a bunch of subscribers. So thank you for that. Lit probably tomorrow, post game tomorrow. But thank you everybody who tuned in. Hit the subscribe button on the way out if you enjoyed the stream, if you're enjoying the daily videos. And again, your guys' support has been unbelievable. And we will see you for a video very soon. Again, if news breaks, we will be on it. So make sure to hit the